Hello everyone, this is Richard Wu from Taiwan, and today I'm going to talk about English grammar. And once again, I'm just an English learner, but sometimes I want to share my opinions about English grammar. So hopefully you can be with me. Let's talk about something about English, okay? So today I'm going to talk about tag questions, okay? This is a very important English grammar, and all the time you can see this kind of sentence pattern in lots of big exams. So pay attention to this kind of English grammar, and always pay attention to the rules and um, the basic way to use it. Okay, so let's get started right now. Okay. Right now, I'll switch my camera and let's see how should we do with the basic rules about tag questions. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, tag question, and let's talk about this grammar. Okay, tag questions, and first of all, whenever you want to do tag questions, and the first thing you have to do is to notice the tense and the verb in the main sentence. Okay, so we'll do that in the real examples here, so don't worry about that. Okay, so what is the main sentence? You can see question number 1 here. John isn't a teacher. This is the main sentence here. So remember that whenever you want to do a tag question in a main sentence, the main sentence you have to notice the tense or the verb, okay, here. So let's see the sentence 1. John isn't. So we pay attention to the tense. This is a present tense. And then pay attention to the verb. Here, the verb is the be verb. So all the time, pay attention to the rule number 1. Pay attention to the tense and the verb in the main sentence. This is the main sentence, okay? So, and then you use the pronoun here, okay? You pay attention to the tense and the verb here, and then use the pronoun here. So that's, and the rule number 3 for tag questions is you remember that if the main sentence is negative like this one, then the tag questions should use positive, okay? And on the contrary, if your main sentence is positive sentence like this, Richard sang a song yesterday. This is a positive sentence, and remember that you use the negative tag question here. So positive, negative, negative, positive. It's the opposite way, okay? It's the opposite way whenever you use a tag question, okay? So when you understand the 3 basic rules about tag questions, then right now we can fill in the blanks. So let's do it together, okay? So sentence number 1, John isn't a teacher. First of all, let's pay attention to the tense. The tense is present tense, right? And then let's pay attention to the verb. The verb is be verb, okay? So right now, also, the main sentence here is negative. Then we should use positive tag questions over here. Okay, so let's do the question number 1. So okay, wait a second. How do we write here? What's the blank here? Okay? Yes, we use is here because we have to change the negative to positive. Is, isn't, is. Okay, then we have to use the pronoun here. Remember the rule number 2. We use the pronoun here. So John, the pronoun of John is, you're right, is he. Okay? Yeah, so the answer is John isn't a teacher. is he? Okay, John isn't a teacher. Is he? Okay, it's not so hard, right? So let's do the sentence number 2. Richard sang the song yesterday. Okay, so that's no, pay attention to the tense and the verb. Okay, so the tense is what? You're right, the past tense. And how about the verb? Yeah, the verb is also the past tense, right? So in this case, we should use did, okay? Did, because that's the past tense, okay? Did. And then, what kind of pronoun should we use here? Because we have to use a pronoun here. What's the pronoun of Richard? Of course, Richard is a guy, so we should use he over here. We should use he over here. How about here? How about this blank? Yeah, just like what I say, we use did because that's the past tense, right? But you remember that the main sentence here is the positive sentence. So you have to change the text question to negative. So you use did? No, you have to use what? Think about it. Yeah, you're right. You're so clever. We use didn't. Okay, we use didn't here. Okay, so that's the basic way we use the tag questions. Okay, so let's go on. Sometimes there are some important rules about tag questions. So I'll mention that for you. So let's see the stars here. Notice the negative words because in your main sentence, sometimes you see no, sometimes you see not, but you have to pay attention to some negative words we are not familiar with. For example, nothing. It is also a negative word. Few, little, they are also negative words. So all the time, pay attention if you can see these words in your main sentence. If you can see these words in your main sentence, then your main sentence is a negative sentence. And remember, you use positive way in your tag questions. Okay, so something like these negative words like nothing, few, little, never. Pay attention to this word. Seldom is also a negative word. And hardly, like barely, they are all negative words. So remember that if you see these negative words in the main sentence, remember to change your tag questions to positive. Okay, that's our rule, right? Negative, positive, positive, negative. That's our rule. So I'll give you 2 example sentences about this. Okay, so let's see sentence 1. Debbie has little time to make a boyfriend. Okay, so can you find it out? What's the answer? Okay, let's pay attention to the tense first. It is the present tense, okay? So we should use does, right? We should use does, right? So we should use does. So let me write does here, okay? Does. And how about the pronoun? Yeah, Debbie is a girl. The pronoun should be she. So does she? And remember that maybe we have to make sure whether or not this sentence is a positive sentence or is a negative sentence, okay? So can you tell me, Debbie has little time to make a boyfriend. Is it positive or is it negative? You're right. Wow, you're right. You're so clever. Because little is a negative word. Too is like too little, right? Very little. So it's like a negative word here. So this sentence is a negative sentence. So I should use does here. Does she? Does she? Okay, so that's the way we use tag question, okay? So let's do one more sentence here. Susan can hardly leave his, oh, why I should use his? That's a typo here. I'm so sorry. Her. I'm not a good teacher. All the time I have typos. Susan can hardly leave her boyfriend even for just 1 minute. Okay, so here we should use can, right? And Susan pronoun she, so we like can she? But here remember we see a hardly, a word hardly here. Hardly is a negative word, so actually the main sentence here is a negative sentence. So what is the answer? Yes, can she? Can she? Just let's type. Just let's do it. Can she? Okay, so that's the way we do it. Can she? Okay, can she? Okay, can she? Okay, so that's some important rules. Okay, and also let's see some special nouns. Okay, sorry. Let's see some special subjects. Okay, in some main sentences, you will see some special subjects in the main sentences. Okay, like there is or there are. And remember, when you see the subject like there is, there are, you also use there as your tag question. Okay, so whenever you see this or that as a subject in your main sentence, then you use it. Okay, and whenever you see these or those, you use they. Okay, okay, so let's do it. There is a pretty lady sitting next to Richard. There is a pretty lady sitting next to Richard. Okay, what is the tag question here? Think about it. Oh, pay attention to the subject here. That's there is, there are, right there. So the answer is, and we see the verb here. So the answer is isn't there, right? Isn't there. Okay, so the answer is isn't there. Okay, isn't there. Okay, isn't there. Okay, that's the answer. Isn't there. And how about this one? Number 2, this is your fault. This is your fault. How to form a tag question here? Think about it. The answer is like isn't this? Is that correct? Isn't this? Of course not, because whenever you see this or whenever you see that, we should use it, the pronoun it. So the answer here is isn't it. Okay, that's the answer. Isn't it? Isn't it? Okay. Hello, Hannah. And number 3, those aren't mine. And think about the tag question. What is the tag question? Those aren't mine. Yeah, you see a negative sentence here. You should change the negative to positive. So this should be are, okay? Here should be are, positive. And then what is the pronoun here? Whenever you see those or these, then we use they, okay? We use they. Okay, so remember that, okay? Remember that. Okay, so the next one is very important. Number 4 is very important. I am a good thinker. So how do you form a tag question here? And then this kind of sentence pattern is very important. Let me tell you the answer. This is very important. The answer, we have 2 kinds of answer for the subject I. And let me tell you, that is, am I not? am I not? Am I not? And this is very important, okay? Because the subject is a little bit different, okay? I am a good thinker, am I not? And another way to use it is amn't I? Okay, amn't I? So, you know, this is a very important sentence pattern here, okay? I am a good thinker, am I not? Or amn't I? Okay, some people will like forget about this, okay? So this is very important, okay? So that's the way we use take questions, okay? So take questions, okay? So viewers and watchers, that's all for today. Some brief introduction about tech questions. So see you next time. Bye bye.